So we were having a conversation about, is bad sex worse than no sex at all? And we have different positions here. My thinking is bad sex is worse than no sex at all. It leaves you with a very empty feeling and a big feeling of insatisfaction. So I think masturbation is better than bad sex.
Yeah, well,
Do you agree?
at least for me, I want to be satisfied to my partner, for my partner,
So
as
if
well as satisfied. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
like I need to establish a relationship where I'm able to communicate what I want, but also I'm able to understand or I'm listening to what my partner wants.
if you had a sexual relationship in which it was very satisfying for you, but you find out that it was non-satisfying for your partner, would that count as a non-satisfying relationship?
Yeah, that's a big. I mean, what? I mean, yeah, it's like 20 years later, you're like, they say, well, it was never good for me. Well, the idea is that it never gets to that point, that that part of sex is like communicating what is satisfying to you, so that there's this knowledge, and from there you can grow and discover other things together. It's I think
You don't know. You don't always know. So I did this film with this ex-girlfriend of mine where we talked about all sorts of things. And one of the things that she brought up was how unsatisfied she was with the sexual relationship. And I felt that I had done almost everything within my power to try and make it a satisfactory sexual experience, like including oral sex going on from 45 minutes to an hour, and not a sexy kind of like oral sex, something more along the lines of like mining or lumberjack or something like that, where it's like an endurance run rather than being sexy. And this was a problem for her because I couldn't get her to climax on her own. Like in our sexual relationship, a lot of the times it would be her masturbating during sex or something like that for her to have for her to have an orgasm, and that wasn't satisfactory to her. But I didn't know this. I mean, I understood that, but I didn't know it was like such a big deal, and it was. Now I don't know if this was something that she was thinking about the whole way through it, but it is definitely something that was obviously on her mind, or she wouldn't have brought it up. So when you talk about like knowing that you're in, or that like in the relationship, how well or not well you're doing, you may not know. You don't know.
sex is more than just about having sex. It's about communicating what has gone on. And
Before or after?
yeah, I mean, it's a negotiation. It's like, maybe before isn't appropriate, but after is definitely appropriate. And if several days go by and that's a before period, then that's appropriate too. I mean, you get bec- it's a dream world to think that, you know, you meet somebody and they're going to know exactly how to satisfy you. You just cannot expect for someone to be able to read your body like that. Like, sex in a Hollywood film is that a couple people meet, they have sex, and it's just fucking fantastic. And that just is a dream world. I mean, sex is a negotiation, and part of negotiating is talking and or communicating in some way. I mean, it doesn't just have to be words, but you have to
You're
be.
saying all these things. I'm gonna cut you off now, but you've expressed to me that you have had not as fulfilling sex in a relationship you've had recently. So was this
No.
expressed to her, like in the relationship?
She and I learned to have learned to have sex in a way that was ours, and at first it didn't meet my expectations, but later on it was very fulfilling to me, and it came to be ours. It came to be our type of lovemaking, and I don't know if it was satisfactory to her or not. What I was told, during the relationship was that it was very satisfying, and I haven't heard anything against that or to counter that since the relationship has ended. Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
her.
So-
Here,
so-
pass the camera.
How much are you guilty if the relationship is non-satisfactory because you're non-speaking about exactly what it is that is not satisfactory for you? So what I think is, so many times we're just paying so much attention on, how we're gonna destroy the other person's expectations if we tell them that, you know what, this that you think you're doing is just not doing it for me, and I'll draw a map of the body areas and explain you where exactly do you have to go for this. But this could be very difficult for your partner to, you know, to take in, and kind of like insulting, you know, and or making them really, you know, really guilty, or really,
No,
you
I'll
know,
tell you what, like
feel
what you,
stupid about it, you know, and you don't want your partner to be stupid. So unless you're in a relationship with you share a lot of intimacy and you trust each other a lot, it's hard. So if the relationship, if the sexual encounter is just sporadic and it's not part of a deep relationship, it's really hard to go through these things.
Well, like when you were negotiating with the lawyer about the movie, you know, remember when we were in the
Yeah.
range,
Yeah.
the Land Rover, and it's like, you know, you have an ability to be very diplomatic. This is the same in a relationship. Why would you tell somebody what they're not doing right? Why wouldn't you, like with the lawyer? Why wouldn't you coach them into to doing what will make you satisfied? Like, can we try this?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
we
of course, of
no,
course.
that happens. This is
That
what I'm
happens
saying.
all the
Exactly
time.
what you.
Sometimes it's because we're thinking we're gonna hurt the other person. We're not confident enough to coach the other person. What I'm saying is sometimes it's kind of hard because you can like expect, you can like want to coach them in a very gentle way, and you expect, okay, well the next time, you know, I'm gonna do this. Instead of having a conversation about how it didn't work this time, you know, you're thinking, okay, well maybe next time we're doing it, I will think, you know, I will tell him exactly what I want. I think it's very hard to be diplomatic in sex. I mean, no, sorry, I take it back. What I'm saying is I think we're too diplomatic in sex to the point to jeopardize our own sexual relationships.